Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Monotooi, coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays, PPL. Check out the PPL in the description below, YouTube, Twitter, all that shit. I'm kind of sick, so this is probably not going to be the most of professional videos that you would expect from my channel, but I did want to get this up. Did want to showcase the team. We're going to be going over the Week 6 team builder for the PPL Division 2 against Better Jack, aka Electric Storm 252. So please check out his links in the description below. He is, I believe, currently in 4th place. It is, in fact, let me show off the league table. No, that's not it. Don't look at that. I might block that. Probably not. But here's the league table. We got me in 1st place with the biggest dick, a 5-0, plus 23 differential. Right behind us, we have Ellie, same record, a little bit less of a differential, and then Paul in 3rd place, Jack, Ruby, some other people, so you can check that out. I don't know what you're going to check out, because I literally showed it. There's a little cup suspect for Diglett, that's pretty cool. So, just to go over Jack's team real quick, he's pretty scary. Actually, this is probably the scariest team that I have ever had to go up against this season. Like, obviously, there have been tough matchups, maybe, but this is definitely probably one of the best, probably the best built teams. I think some of the analysts had them at number 1 in the power rankings, like week 0, because of the team. Like this is a very highly rated team, and I can absolutely see why it's very good. Consists of Victini, Starmie, Togekiss, Tyrantrum, Raikou, Zoroark, Licky Licky, Gourgeist, Quillfish, and Piloswine. Pretty much, there's nothing here that I don't see him bringing. Like, I can see him bringing pretty much everything if you want it. Like, obviously you can't bring everything, but there's not a mon here that if he brought, I'd be like, yo, what? That doesn't do good, because this is all pretty decent against my team. Even the things at the bottom, like Quillfish, Piloswine, Gourgeist, all that. So, a very scary team. However, I believe I've built a team of 6 that can handle it relatively well, and we are going to get into that right now. So, to start off, we have our physically defensive Nidoqueen. Again, if I sound off, it's because I'm relatively sick. I have a pretty bad cold. Not a terrible cold, but, like, I have a cold, and it's annoying. We have physically defensive Nidoqueen. This is pretty much my only switch into the Tyrantrum. Like, I could have brought Ferrothorn, but it has superpower and, like, Fire Fang that can 2 KO it on the switch-in, and that's just not fun. Nidoqueen can take 2 Adamant Earthquakes from a non-life orb Tyrantrum. So, like, if it's Scarfed, then I'll be able to take 2 Earthquakes. I'll be able to take a Head Smash very well. Can threaten it immediately with the Earth Power. Can set up rocks on a switch out. Also, Sludge Wave, good secondary stab for his team. Hits the Togekiss and hits the majority of his team relatively hard. And Sucker Punch, that's primarily for his 2 Psychic types. His 2 faster Psychic types being Victini and Starmie. Also, the good priority could be good versus this team. Like, I can maybe pick off a weakened Piloswine before it hits me with an Ice Shard. That'd be cool. My head is really congested, but congested. Black Sludge just helps with the bulk and stuff. Sheer Force, max physical defense, minus speed nature because I'm running mixed attacks, and I don't really care about outspeeding things on this team because as long as I can take hits, then we're good. Still a relatively big offensive threat because it's still 2 KOs and 1 KOs, like a large majority of his team. But yeah, that's Nidoqueen. Brought it every week. It's done its job pretty well. So thank you very much, Nidoqueen. Moving on, we have our Zapdos. Jesus Christ, that sounds disgusting. Anyway, especially defensive Zapdos with enough speed to outspeed a Jolly Tyrantrum. I'm sorry, almost threw up. But anyway, this is enough speed to outspeed Jolly Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum's a relatively big issue. Head Smash is scary, and of course I do have the switch in. Nidoqueen it may not be around the longest, so I need other things to deal with it, and this, if it's not Scarfed, then I will outspeed it, hit it with an HP Ice, 2 KO it, can Volt Switch on things. Toxic is pretty big. He's got a lot of good bulk. His switch-in being Raikou and Piloswine are both hit by Toxic, which is nice. Potentially the Licky Licky and the Gourgeist as well, since I'm not running Heat Wave. So that's that. This is just a very good switch-in for the majority of his team. Can actually take 2 Ice Beams from Starmie, if it is not analytic. I wouldn't want to, but anyway, but I can if I want to. Very good switch into Togekiss. Can take pretty much anything it wants to do. If it tracks me a Scarf or switcheroos me a Scarf, then I'm good. Can deal with the Raikou, even like a Specs Raikou cannot 2 KO me. Zoroark cannot OHKO me with anything, can deal with the Licky relatively well. Same with the Gourgeist, same with the Qwilfish. Pilot's Line, of course, is an issue, but I do have the Toxic for that, and I do have not a ton of responses for Pilot's Line, but I have like my Reuniclus that I'll get into a little bit. So that is Zapdos. Yeah, that's all I gotta go over, really. Not too much to explain. Leftovers don't really need a berry. I'm not too afraid of like Pilot's Line's Icicle something. So there's that. So let's just move on to probably the best Pokemon on the planet, Mega Lopunny. Scrappy, obviously. High Jump Kick, Return, Fake Out, and Substitute. The last move was I toyed around with a little bit. I originally had Power Up Punch, I was considering Healing Wish, but I just realized Substitute was probably the best option. I can dodge a potential, like a Gourgeist Will-O-Wisp can maybe sub on a predicted something from Licky, like it has Chopple Berry, it can T-Wave me, maybe it gets counter, I don't know, I'll look that up later. Can maybe sub up versus like a Tyrantrum because it's not going to want to stay in. Speaking of Tyrantrum, I'm running Jolly and enough speed to outspeed a +1 Jolly Tyrantrum, which is going to be pretty important. Again, I would like to offensively check that as best as I can, and this does so very well, being able to OHKO with High Jump Kick. And yeah, relatively standard Mega Lopunny. He actually has a decent amount of Lopunny checks, being Victini, which I can't knock out in one hit, can OHKO me. Same with Starmie. Togekiss can switch into me decently, and then Gourgeist and Qwilfish can actually deal with me decently, but as long as I wear down his team enough, I will be able to clean up the game with Mega Lopunny, as I've been doing pretty much all season, because Mega Lopunny is an absolute monster. So that's Mega Lopunny. Hopefully it'll put in work, and to help it put in work, we have our Whimsicott here. This is actually a pretty fun set that I came up with. Not, I guess, necessarily fun, but pretty cool one. Life Orb, 4 attacks, Infiltrator. Obviously don't need Prankster because I'm running 4 attacks. And Infiltrator can be good for potentially like a sub-Victini and whatever else he decides to run sub on, but probably a sub Victini is the most likely. Could run Scarf for some things, but my team's not super fast, so he might not want to. But yeah, it's for that. Shadow Ball is actually really nice because his best offensive switch into my Whimsicott would be his Victini, which obviously, if I go for Shadow Ball on like a Starmie and he switches into Victini, then I'm hitting him with a Shadow Ball, can potentially 2 KO it, also hits the Gourgeist. And really, this just puts in a lot of work for his team. It pressures his team pretty heavily. It actually OHKOs max HP Qwilfish with Psychic, which is really cool. Was going to originally run E-Belt, but Life Orb is the only thing that can OHKO Qwilfish, which I wanted to do. And it just hits harder in general, so that's really cool. So yeah, that's Whimsicott. I've brought offensive Whimsicott each week. This is the first time I've brought like an Infiltrator one, as well as a Life Orb one, and it's been working well, so I'm going to stick with it, and it looks like it has a good matchup against him. Alright, Tyranitar. This guy, Assault Vest, Stone Edge, Superpower, Crunch, and Pursuit. Running Assault Vest because I can take 2 Hydro Pumps from Starmie and knock it out with the Crunch. Like, I can actually switch into a Starmie if I wanted to. Of course, I wouldn't want to get burned, but I can potentially switch into Starmie and deal with it. Because Stone Edge and the Togekiss can take 2 Aura Spheres easily. Can take any hit from Tyrantrum other than a Superpower, hit it with a Superpower myself. Take 2 Aura Spheres from Raikou, do whatever I want. Can take any hit from Zoroark, aside from like a low kick, if he decides to bring that. If he has Focus Blast, I'll be able to take a hit, knock it out with Superpower. Superpower with the Licky, Crunch the Gourgeist. Do I have anything for Qwilfish? No, but fuck Qwilfish. And then we have Superpower for the Pilot's Line. So that's Tyranitar. It's very... he's got a lot of things that are Pursuit trapped, like the Victini and the Starmie. That's pretty much it, when I said a lot. So that's cool. Wanted also Crunch. Debated Earthquake, of course, for the Qwilfish, but I was like, you know what, it's a Qwilfish, I don't give a shit. But no, realistically, I have, like, I deal with it offensively decently, like Zapdos switches in, you can take a hit and hit it with Earth Power, Reuniclus deals with it. So, I decided against it. Decided this is the best set that I could bring. But with that being said, we're now going to move on to the last mon on our team. I call this the John Reuniclus because if you don't know, Pokemon John of the GBA pretty much always brought like an Assault Vest Regenerator Reuniclus to pretty much every week. I'm doing that this week because, well, a couple of reasons. It can take a Banded V-Create. I just hit my foot. Anyway, it can take a Banded V-Create from the Victini hit it with a Shadow Ball, switch out, get Regenerator. Can take a Banded Head Smash from Tyrantrum, same thing. Can take on the Raikou very well, can even take any hit from the Zoroark. Can take on the Gourgeist, can take on the Quillfish, the Piloswine. It's just a very nice pivot for his team. Like, I switch in, switch out, Regenerator, and it hits his team relatively hard. We have Psychic, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and Future Sight. Future Sight, again, I can just throw it up and plan around it depending on what he wants to switch in. Like, his best switch in to a Future Sight would obviously be Zoroark, so if I predict that properly, go out into my Mega Lopunny or out into my Whimsicott, then I'm going to have a fun time. So it's a cool move there. And then also, I didn't need any other move. Like, I was thinking like Energy Ball to hit Piloswine, but like I already have Focus Blast for that, so I didn't really need anything else. This is pretty much all I need. Debated also Thunder for the Togekiss, which would have been cool, but I don't need it really. I'm just gonna run this, and I have the Zapdos to deal with the Togekiss, so there's that. So that is why I have this Reuniclus set. It basically takes the hit from anything, fires off some damage. If I'm threatened, I switch out and get Regenerator. And yeah, that's the team, pretty much. Again, this is a very important match. And, you know, I know I've been, like, kind of joking around and, like, acted like I didn't care because I'm sick. But this is actually a very important match. Jack is a good opponent. We narrowly beat him last season, largely due to a Scald crit. However, we did miss an Iron Tail on his Altaria, so I mean, I don't really feel bad, if you know what I mean, you know. But he's a scary opponent, has a very scary team, has been doing very well this season. He's currently 3-1, no, 3-2. Lost to Paul and Ellie, who are both like right behind me as well. So he's lost to formidable opponents. So we got our work cut out for us. I'm confident, but I'm also nervous because if we lose, then I'll be upset, I guess. Especially because he's right behind us. Ellie will be in first place. Paul will be catching up to us. So I want to maintain my first place spot. I want to continue winning by as large of a margin as I can, and I don't know if I can do that against Jack, but I will do my best. So thank you guys very much for watching. Again, I apologize for my sick and rant about this team and stuff, but thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you look forward to the battle. I'll probably still be sick when I narrate that, but I hope you look forward to it, and have a nice day, everyone.